You're the reason, your greatness, your star power, you are the reason for there being no 2026 WNBA season as of now. Because had you not been such a great player and a big star,
the moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto the professional stage, something changed forever. Not just for the WNBA, not just for women's basketball, but for the entire sports media ecosystem that thought it understood how stars are made. For years, the league believed it controlled the narrative. It believed it decided who mattered, who got pushed, who got ignored. Caitlin Clark didn't ask for permission. She didn't campaign. She didn't complain. She just played. And the system started cracking. At first, it was subtle. Ticket sales quietly spiked. Television ratings didn't just rise. They exploded in games she appeared in and collapsed when she didn't. Social media engagement became embarrassingly one-sided. Clips of her shooting from the logo went viral within minutes, while official league highlights struggled to gain traction. That was the moment the uncomfortable questions started spreading behind closed doors. What happens when the player becomes bigger than the league? This isn't supposed to happen. In most professional sports, leagues build stars slowly and carefully. They decide which faces go on posters, which names get promoted, which stories get told. But Caitlin Clark broke that formula. She didn't fit the pre-approved marketing mold. She didn't rely on controversy or manufactured rivalries. She didn't need forced narratives. Fans chose her themselves, and that terrified people who were used to controlling attention. You could see the tension grow week by week. Some analysts praised her impact openly, while others twisted themselves into knots trying to downplay it. Suddenly, phrases like team success and system basketball were thrown around whenever her dominance became impossible to ignore. It wasn't about basketball anymore. It was about power, about who gets credit, about who decides what matters. Then came the numbers. Ratings without Caitlin Clark draws appeared sharply, and no amount of spin could hide it. Arenas that were sold out for her appearances looked half empty the moment she wasn't on the floor. Merchandise told the same story. Jerseys, shoes, social media mentions, everything pointed in one direction. Fans weren't tuning in for a logo, they were tuning in for a player. That's when the backlash quietly started. Not always loud, not always obvious. Sometimes it came as silence. Sometimes as balance takes that somehow never balanced anything. Sometimes as sudden praise for everyone except the one person driving the entire wave. Caitlin Clark didn't respond. She kept showing up, hitting shots from distances defenders weren't even trained to guard, and letting the noise drown itself out. The most fascinating part is how calm she's been through all of it. No public meltdowns, no dramatic interviews, no social media wars. While others looked increasingly frustrated, Caitlin Clark looked locked in, almost detached, like someone who knew the truth long before anyone else was willing to say it out loud. That calm made the contrast even sharper, because when one person is silent, others start talking more and saying too much.
And pour more concrete so I could have an entire three-point line in my driveway.
Did that really happen? You extended your range by dumping more concrete?
Yeah, because it was like kind of slanted. Our driveway was like slanted, so I only had a three-point line on one side of the driveway, so.
We started seeing strange media moments. Commentators stumbling over themselves trying to explain away sold-out crowds. Analysts getting defensive on live television. Former players suddenly positioning themselves as gatekeepers of real basketball, as if the fans themselves didn't matter. But fans do matter, and fans were speaking loudly, even when the microphones weren't pointed at them. Every sport eventually faces this moment, the moment when the audience decides the center of gravity has shifted. In the NBA, it happened with Jordan, in soccer, with Messi, in tennis, with Serena. The league survives, but it has to adapt. What makes this situation explosive is that the WNBA wasn't ready. It spent years telling fans who they should care about, and suddenly the fans answered back. What happens when a league realizes it needs one player more than that player needs the league? That's the uncomfortable reality unfolding right now. Caitlin Clark doesn't need manufactured storylines. She doesn't need forced rivalries. She doesn't need protection. Her game speaks, and millions are listening. That kind of organic pull can't be replicated, it can't be replaced, and it definitely can't be ignored. You can feel the shift in tone every time her name comes up. There's admiration mixed with resentment, praise mixed with hesitation. It's the sound of a system adjusting in real time. Some people embrace it, others resist it. But resistance only highlights the truth even more. The more you push back against something real, the more visible it becomes. And here's the part no one wants to say out loud. This isn't a threat to women's basketball. It's the biggest opportunity it has ever had. Caitlin Clark isn't overshadowing the league. She's illuminating it. She's bringing in viewers who never watched before. She's creating moments people talk about at work, at school, online, every week. Here, that kind of attention lifts everyone if it's handled correctly. But handling it correctly requires letting go of control. It requires accepting that fans decide stars, not committees. It requires understanding that authenticity beats agendas every single time. Caitlin Clark didn't demand to be the face of anything. The audience handed it to her. That's why this moment matters so much, because it exposes a deeper truth about modern sports. Attention is earned, not assigned. Respect is built, not enforced. And silence, when paired with excellence, can be louder than any press conference. As the season moves forward, one thing is clear. This isn't slowing down. The gap isn't closing. If anything, it's widening. Caitlin Clark has already changed the conversation, and she's doing it without saying a word. The league can either evolve with that reality or keep pretending it isn't happening while the numbers tell a very different story. And that's the real reason this story won't go away. Because it's not about hype. It's not about drama. It's about what happens when one player forces an entire system to look in the mirror. Whether they like what they see or not,